In the land of Oz, where magic and mystery shaped every day, two girls met at school. Elphaba, with emerald skin, marked as different from the moment she arrived, and Glinda, radiant and adored, the very image of perfection in the eyes of their peers. They were opposites in every way. One misunderstood, the other celebrated, yet they became inseparable friends, each the other's secret in a world that rarely saw them for who they truly were. Their friendship was a rare light in Oz's growing darkness. A bond that seemed unbreakable even as the world around them changed. But this is not a story of friendship that endured. It is the story of its breaking, of how even the strongest bonds can be shattered by forces beyond our control. In the heart of the Emerald City, beneath its glittering towers and swirling rumors, a single, terrible moment changed everything for them. One friend was cast into shadow, branded wicked by a fearful society. The other, thrust into the spotlight, celebrated as good and noble, even as she questioned what that truly meant. This was a crossroads. Choices made here would echo through Oz for years, shaping destinies and rewriting legends. The world would remember one as a monster, a cautionary tale whispered to children, the other as a saint, a symbol of hope and order, but the truth was far more complicated, hidden beneath layers of fear, ambition, and regret. Their story is Oz's story: power, fear, and the lies we tell to survive. What is goodness, really? Is it fighting a corrupt system from the outside, risking everything for what you believe is right, or working within it, even at the cost of your soul, hoping to change things from the inside? Their friendship was tested by the powers ruling Oz, by secrets and betrayals, and in the end, it shattered under the weight of impossible choices. The pieces could never be put back together, no matter how much they wished it. We must look closely at this fracture, at the weight of their choices, and the pain that shaped them. Elphaba saw the truth, and refused to look away, even when it cost her everything. Glinda saw it too, but chose a different path, one of compromise, of hope, and of sacrifice. Their split was not just the end of a friendship, it was the birth of a legend, a story that would define Oz for generations. The Wicked Witch of the West was born from heartbreak, from the pain of being misunderstood and cast aside, and Glinda the Good from compromise and hope, forever linked by a moment that changed them both, and Oz forever. The break was no quiet disagreement. It was a spectacle in the wizard's throne room, a clash that echoed through the marble halls and left the courtiers whispering in shock. Elphaba and Glinda arrived in the Emerald City, their hearts full of hope and determination, believing the wizard would help right the wrongs against the animals of Oz and restore justice to the land. Instead, they discovered the wizard was a fraud, hiding behind smoke and mirrors, manipulating the city with illusions and empty promises. When confronted, the wizard offered Elphaba power in exchange for her silence and complicity, tempting her with influence if she would only look the other way. For a moment, the friends stood together, horrified by the truth and the impossible choice before them. Then came the choice. Elphaba refused to betray her principles, her voice steady even as her world shifted beneath her feet. She chose the truth, the animals, and open defiance, vowing to stand up for those who could not defend themselves. Using magic she barely understood, she rebelled against the wizard, becoming a symbol of resistance and hope for the oppressed. Glinda watched, frozen, as her friend became an enemy of the state, torn between loyalty and fear, unable to move or speak. The wizard's propaganda machine spun Elphaba into a wicked witch, twisting her actions into villainy and turning the city against her. Glinda faced an impossible choice: follow Elphaba into exile and risk everything, or stay and accept the title of Glinda the Good, upholding the status quo. In fear and confusion, she stayed, her heart heavy with regret and uncertainty about the future. The chasm between them opened instantly, a rift that seemed impossible to bridge. One friend vanished into the night, swallowed by shadows and uncertainty. The other remained in the palace's blinding light, surrounded by expectations. Their friendship was shattered in public, their fates sealed by a single irreversible moment that everyone in Oz would remember. The world would never see them the same way again, and whispers of their story spread like wildfire. Elphaba became a rebel, a legend whispered about in the shadows. Glinda, a symbol of hope and order for a city desperate for stability. But both were left with heartbreak, haunted by memories of what they'd lost and the choices that tore them apart. And Oz would never be the same, forever changed by the fracture of a once unbreakable bond. Elphaba's escape was not freedom. It was a life in hiding, a constant struggle to remain unseen. Each day brought new dangers, and every shadow could conceal a threat. The wizard's propaganda was swift. Posters everywhere painted her as a monster, twisting her image into something unrecognizable. Her name became a warning whispered in the streets. She became a ghost in her own land, hunted and feared, forced to move silently from place to place, never able to rest. Every act of kindness was twisted into villainy by the state. Even the smallest gesture was watched, reported, and used against her. She found refuge in Oz's forgotten corners, forced to wear the name Wicked Witch of the West. The places she once loved became her only sanctuary. Her resolve hardened. Injustice was now the air she breathed. The more they tried to break her, the stronger her spirit became. She used her magic to protect animals, disrupt the wizard's plans, and offer sanctuary to the oppressed. In secret, she became a beacon of hope for those with nowhere else to turn. But every rescue was called a crime. Every act of defiance labeled evil. The world saw only what the wizard wanted them to see. The loneliness was profound. She missed her friend, wondered if Glinda remembered the truth. Memories of laughter and trust haunted her nights, but the world had built a wall of lies between them, a barrier that seemed impossible to cross. Elphaba fought a war most never saw, her name a curse, her heart still loyal to Oz. She clung to her ideals, even as the world turned against her. She became a legend of fear, but her actions were born of compassion. Those she helped remembered her kindness, even if they dared not speak it aloud. The real Elphaba was lost behind the mask the world forced her to wear, her true self hidden beneath layers of rumor and myth. Alone, she kept fighting for those who could not fight for themselves, her courage unwavering even in the face of despair. And the myth of the Wicked Witch grew, casting a long shadow over Oz, while the truth waited, quietly, to be found. While Elphaba was cast out, Glinda was thrust into the spotlight. The wizard needed a symbol of hope. Glinda was perfect. She became Glinda the Good, adored by all. Her decision to stay was not for power, but a desperate hope to do good from within. She believed she could protect the innocent, temper the wizard's cruelty, and maybe one day expose him. But her life became a performance. Gowns, speeches, and staged events. She was trapped by the lies she'd agreed to uphold. Inside, Glinda was tormented by the truth about the animals, the wizard, and Elphaba. She chose the long game, hoping to be a shield, but became part of the weapon used against her friend. Her power was real, but conditional. She had to play the part. Glinda's goodness was complicated, her silence a heavy burden. With Elphaba branded wicked and Glinda a distraction, the wizard tightened his grip on Oz. His rule became openly authoritarian. Fear replaced freedom. The persecution of animals intensified, sentient beings stripped of rights and voices. The Gale Force policed dissent, and the culture of Oz was erased. Thinking for yourself became a crime. Difference meant danger. The wizard used the threat of the Wicked Witch to justify oppression. Checkpoints, surveillance, and suspicion became the norm. The magic drained from Oz, replaced by conformity and fear. The Emerald City became a center of propaganda. The soul of Oz was poisoned, its people silenced. The wizard remade Oz in his own image, a land without real magic or truth. The split between Elphaba and Glinda was more than distance, it was a clash of ideals. Elphaba believed in tearing down a corrupt system, no matter the cost. For her, compromise was complicity. Glinda chose reform, believing she could do more good from within. She saw direct rebellion as futile, her own path a quieter, lonelier battle. Each saw the other's choice as betrayal. Elphaba saw Glinda's public face as surrender. Glinda saw Elphaba's defiance as reckless. Both believed they were right, and that certainty drove them apart. Their friendship became a wound that could not heal. The story of Elphaba and Glinda challenges the labels of wicked and good. Elphaba, condemned as wicked, acted with moral conviction. Her evil was simply defiance. Glinda, celebrated as good, lived a life of compromise, her goodness a performance for a corrupt regime. The world equated difference with danger, and dissent with wickedness. True goodness, the story suggests, is about choices in the face of injustice. Elphaba's lonely resistance was real goodness. Glinda's public adoration masked complicity. The story offers no easy answers, only the question: what does it mean to be good in a broken world? Wickedness can be a label for those who refuse to conform. Goodness is more than a title, it's action or inaction when it matters most. Over time, the lie became truth. Elphaba was erased, replaced by the legend of the Wicked Witch. The people of Oz believed the myth, a monster in the West, a saint in the bubble. Glinda, as the nation's moral compass, did nothing to correct the story. Her silence confirmed the lie, each day deepening her complicity. The truth of their friendship was buried. History needed a villain and a hero. Glinda's choice to remain silent shaped Oz's history, sacrificing her friend's name for public order. The legend was powerful, but the truth was lost. Elphaba and Glinda became eternal enemies in the eyes of Oz. The real tragedy was the death of a friendship and the birth of a myth. The story of Elphaba and Glinda is a tragedy, not of good versus evil, but of how those ideas are shaped and sold. Their split reshaped Oz, setting two women on paths that defined a nation's myth. Elphaba lost her name and home for the truth. Glinda lost her friend for the hope of doing good. Their story warns how fear and propaganda can turn heroes into monsters. Both fought for a better Oz, but their divide became unbridgeable. Today, their tale is a mirror, asking who the real monsters are, those who rage against injustice, or those who quietly enable it. The answer, like their friendship, is complicated and eternally tragic.